All right, welcome back to the second episode of the Klapper podcast. If you guys didn't listen to the pilot, you can go back and do that. It's a 10-minute pilot just about kind of what this episode or what this podcast is going to be, what it's about, why I'm doing it. And today I'm joined by my brother Aaron. Aaron, how you doing?
I'm good. I feel like I got some big shoes to fill, being the first official guest on this podcast. So
Yeah, well,
hopefully I don't screw it up too much. I don't know. I'm
think
not
we'll-
making any promises.
I think we'll get a good vibe going. It was going to be either you or Sarah, the most willing to participate, and here you are. So,
Well, then stick it to Sarah. I made it on here first. Sorry.
all right, yeah. So, if you didn't listen to the pilot, go ahead and do that. That'll give you a nice intro on what we're doing here. So, Thanksgiving, happy Thanksgiving, everyone listening. Today we're doing our part two. Actually, we did a part one yesterday. We had a nice outdoor get together.
Killer.
Yeah,
Loved
it was
It
awesome.
was awesome.
We got everyone. We were able to get everyone in the family here based on how we did it. We had, a fire going. We had heaters going. We had seats all around. We had football. Everything was kind of just cooking at once, and I loved it. I probably preferred it, to instead of our normal formal Thanksgiving where everything's just kind of inside, and I liked the relaxed environment that last night was, and I thought it was a huge success.
I totally agree. And like you said, there was football going on. There's never a Klapper gathering without some sort of organized sport going on.
Yeah.
And you have the added element of the kids like riding their bikes through the game as it's going on. We're like running routes and we're like dodging Chase or dodging Adeline. It's a miracle that not many people get hurt.
Yeah, Daniel had a specific way of using the kids to try to get distance on his routes, and I'm surprised none of them got trucked, but
You got to get that separation.
he was so shameless.
But yeah, I mean, we had that crowd, and then we have the other group that's just kind of sitting around the fire and just talking. And we just have like two different crowds. People playing sports, and then people just hanging out and chilling. And that's just kind of how we do it. And I wouldn't have it any other way. It's really cool that we can have that kind of eclectic activities going on. And we had the fire going. That was really cool ambiance. It was just a good time overall.
Yeah,
Pandemic style Thanksgiving.
exactly. Yeah, we were able to have basically seamless kind of areas of the party. If you wanted to play some football, you could literally just hop on the driveway, play football. There was good conversations going all night around the fire. We had some of the Gibsons come over and talk to us, and yeah, it was a great night for sure. It went into the late hours of the night, and there was always something to talk about, especially with this family, just going over memories with the Gibsons and just kind of what's going on in our lives. It can go from a serious, deep talk to just laughing it up. And
People memeing each other.
yeah, we're just really good at just having conversations going, and it was an awesome night. I loved it.
And then we got round 2 tonight.
Part 2 tonight. We got more of the formal get together. We got our normal pod. We got obviously you and Becca are here already. We got Nathan and Alicia, Jesse coming up later. And it's going to be that more what we're used to, Thanksgiving, turkey stuffing inside at a dining table, where we don't have more of the extended and people that aren't used to being here.
I've never looked forward to turkey more in my life, I think. I think it's just anything this year to just get that sense of normalcy back is just, you welcome it. And so, man, and Dad's got a killer brine going on this year.
He's just been going hard in the kitchen.
Yeah,
all
he's
day long.
really excited about it. So
Yeah.
hopefully that lives up to the hype.
Mhm.
And then you got the big heaping plate of stuffing on the side. I know how much you love the
I
stuffing.
can't stand stuffing. I just can't do it.
It still is mind-boggling to me.
I don't know why. I don't know what it is, what ingredient it is, but whenever I have it, my body just says no, and I can't eat it. I'll eat everything else at the table.
I can see how you're like indifferent about it. Like turkey, for the most part, I'm kind of indifferent about. I just salt the crap out of it and dump a bunch of gravy on it and call it a day. But the fact that you're just so repulsed by
I'm
stuffing,
vehemently against it. I can't do it. I don't know what it is.
weird. But we're gonna have that going, so that's gonna be good. So on that note, let's kind of get a little sappy for a second, maybe a little nostalgic, and hashtag thankful. Talk about what we're thankful for. And I do that really tongue in cheek because we'll talk about this later, but we are very self-effacing and self-aware on this podcast. So if the cringe moments happen, and they will, and they'll abound.
They always happen.
Yeah. Or we just misspeak, or I don't know, there's long pauses where we don't know what to say because we're obviously just.
Bear with us.
Yeah. We're going out, flying by the seat of our pants. So we embrace it.
Yeah.
And we wouldn't have it.
Bring on the cringe. We love it. We live for it.
Yeah. But I'm super thankful for my wife, Rebecca, Louise Klapper. Lewis Klapper. Yeah, I give her grief about it. But seriously, this year's been insane in so many ways. And I think we've grown so much closer through it though. I mean, she's had some health issues and it's been affecting her like mentally and physically a lot. But I think God's definitely showing us something through this. And he's definitely showing us that there's a purpose in the pain and the suffering that we're going through. And I think it's done nothing but strengthen our marriage. So love you, babe. Love you long time.
Yeah.
Who's Lloyd? Sure. I want to meet him sometime. Now, who's Long Tim? Sorry, if we sneak in office references, it's just
you got it.
Like a tick at this point.
Yeah, it's gonna come up. It's just gonna come up. Yeah. So hashtag thankful. Definitely, as you said, I'm gonna piggyback off what you said in terms of the family.
Classic
cliche.
Stealing my thunder.
I have to
piggybacking.
I just have to take it another avenue. So
I got you.
The more I have gotten older and have gotten to know more people outside of my usual circle, and just the more I hear from other people, the more I realize that a family like we have is to be like incredibly appreciated. And just like I hear so many stories of just so much, I don't know, tension and like distance in other people's families, especially nowadays, that I just, what we have and how we're always able to, with how many people we have and how many differing viewpoints and arguments there may be, like we've never let it stop us from gathering and being kind of what we are as a family. And so 100%. I think that's probably in my, in terms of my life right now, the thing I have to be most thankful for is definitely the dynamic we have in our family. So I definitely will touche you with the family thankfulness.
Nice. All right, let's flip that on its head then and do like a funny meme Thanksgiving memory. I'll start it off, and we don't do it anymore, and I think it's probably for the best. And I still don't understand why we did this in the first place, but we would get a bunch of testosterone oozing, washed up former football players, and we would get together and we would play all out tackle football.
Destroy each other.
And it was a miracle that more people didn't get hurt. I mean, people always got hurt, and I was fortunate to not, but it was just insane that we would have people just running around like crazy and just tackling people with reckless abandon. But it was really fun because it was our old church, and then we would play another church.
Rival.
Yeah. And let me tell you, God was not on the field when we played. Like, people would get so heated and triggered and would say things that they probably immediately regretted, but
kind of like the adult league.
Yeah.
The adult league soccer, just so much testosterone.
Yeah. Everything just went out the window and people were just so reactive. But thankfully we were on the winning side more than not. And because the other side was such poor losers, it made it all the more satisfying to win. I can't imagine what it would have been like to be on the other side. Yeah. Because there's nothing worse than losing to people who have no sportsmanship. Jerks. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. And we still do it, to this day. I mean, we still play football. It's not to that organized fashion, but it was a lot of fun. And just another one, like the things that Hunter would do when we went to Adrian's was just crazy. Pure entertainment. Whether it was when they had like the chickens or just seeing him cruise at like 20 miles an hour.
Yeah, he's like 5 years old.
Yeah.
Going 20 miles per hour.
He's on
dirt
this
bike.
mini bike.
Yeah.
And like his dad's just watching without a care in the world.
Kid was fearless.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
And you can just see Chase like looking at Jeff.
Like shaking in his boots.
Yeah. Dad, I want to do that. Could you imagine? I don't know
Oh,
how he
gosh.
just didn't wreck himself, Hunter,
I don't know.
when he was going around, but
He was a legend.
he must have had his route memorized and it was just like a track in his mind that he was following.
He was a natural.
Yeah.
Natural dad.
Yeah.
Hunting dad, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd probably go on the more not really sappy, but just in terms of my memories of the Thanksgivings at Aunt Anne's. Always having her dog Sunny there and just being
Oh,
the
Sonny.
adorable and just kind pup and dog that Sunny was always a highlight of going there and just being with the dog. So that's definitely one of my fonder memories is just going there to see that dog. And we have Sadie now, which is also nice to see, but Sadie's kind of a different energy than Sunny was for sure.
No one can hold a candle to Sonny.
No.
She was a saint.
Yeah.
So good with the kids and just minded her own business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No matter how many kids may have tried to ruffle her feathers.
Yeah.
Can't imagine.
Rest in peace.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet. So we got what? Another holiday coming up? Oh yeah. Wait, Christmas. I'm telling you, it still doesn't feel like holidays are happening when they're happening.
No, it doesn't.
Like it feels like it's still March.
Like Thanksgiving last night just felt like another day in the summer or in the spring where you're just hanging out by the fire.
Yeah.
It didn't feel like it's already almost December. And so I can't imagine whatever we come up with for Christmas is going to feel like. It's probably just not going to feel like Christmas. It's just going to feel like another one of those get-togethers. But I know that despite all the unknown variables and all this stuff that we have to work around, we'll figure something out and have a great Klapper Christmas, no matter what it is. Because whenever we get our creative minds together, something good comes out of it, like last night. So
Oh yeah.
it's unknown what's going to happen, who's going to be there, but I don't know. I'm excited to see what we do.
Yeah.
It's nice to have some change, but it's definitely not going to be that a normal Christmas vibe. So
We'll
it's
roll with it.
interesting. Yeah. Yeah. So happy Thanksgiving, happy Christmas, happy holidays to everyone listening. And
Happy Christmas.
Happy Christmas.
And Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. We'll let you guys know hopefully on a future episode before Christmas. As we get closer to the date, what we're doing and how we're gonna figure all that out. And hopefully have maybe different guests on, maybe just an additional guest, and we'll get more conversation going. But
Yeah, we need to be saved. People will be bored to tears if they just have us.
yeah,
They'll 2 times speed this thing so hard.
they might kick it into 3 times. It just might
man.
be too bad.
But yeah, so closing thoughts. Like we said, we love this opportunity. We want to get as many people on here to just show y'all what the Clappers are all about and what crazy lives we've lived.
And to show ourselves too in the future, just to come back and look at this and the memes we had and the Christmas and Thanksgiving we had to celebrate in 2020. I can imagine, I want to document as much of 2020 as I can because this is unlike anything else for basically everyone. Like this is the first time in their lives that so much has changed. So despite all the change, I don't want to look back at 2020 and think this was just a terrible year and I want to forget it. So I want to keep the highlights of how we changed things up and how we still, persevered in being who we are. So that's the main reason we're doing this podcast, is to just have, obviously everyone else gets a glimpse of what life is like, but also in the future to look back on and just kind of have fond memories of what was an interesting year for sure.
That's right. All right. So if you guys enjoyed this episode, give us a 5-star review.
Yes, sir.
And say that we weren't utterly boring, because that'll really give us a nice ego boost and might make things better and more interesting. But with that, we'll sign off. So stay tuned for the next episode. And if you hear the goat,
You're the goat. See you guys.